Hey, what's up everyone? It's Veil of Huntress and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Nita and I'm a psychic healer over here on YouTube, and I do pickacard readings and other spiritual based video topics. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and if you have subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification bell so every time I upload you get notified. Thank you for all my clients who have been booking in readings with me, and if you have been donating to the channel as well. If you would like to donate to the channel, all my information is down in the description box. And I also have like a super thanks, I think like this link, which you'll see like next to the subscription button if you feel my readings have helped you in some way. If you are on my Patreon as well, I do have loads of extended readings over there, as well as journeys, other tarot readings, and I do psychic podcast readings, so you can listen to them on the go, so it's super convenient. And you can also, there's a limited spaces. If you do want to have a reading from me, you can select the tiers that have that option over there. And my social media links like my Insta and my TikTok is down below as well. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find my website link in the description box too. So in today's reading, we're going to be asking the question, what makes you so intimidating? Why do people find you intimidating? So on my Patreon, I'm going to be taking it into the extended, and I'm going to be asking the question, so still the same question, what makes you so intimidating, but more in terms of your sexual energy. Because on my Patreon, it's more about sacred sexuality, owning your sexual power to help you in your creativity, your manifestations, your business, and the dark feminine, the dark goddesses, and I combine all of this in with the reading. So they're very deep and very spiritual. So if this intrigues you, I will leave the link in the comments if you do want to join me over there for the extended. And we'll just be going deeper into your sexual energy and how this can come across intimidating, looking at your sexual gifts in terms of like past lives, anything that wants to come through. Like, we go super deep over there. So that's going to be on the extended. So yeah, let's pretty much jump into this. I'm going to have 3 options here for you to choose from. So option 1, option 2, and option 3. Great. So let's start with option 1. Why do people find you so intimidating? Yeah, what makes you intimidating? So option pile 1, what makes you so intimidating? Okay, so option 1, what makes you so intimidating? I feel that you are the type of person that you get a lot of recognition, you have a lot of success. It's kind of like anything you do, anything you set your mind to, you're very successful. I feel like you have a lot of skills, like you would be very, very good at a lot of things. It's like you have mastered a lot of skills in your life, and it's kind of like you don't really know how to do something, but you would just kind of do it and it would like work, like you just work it out. I feel that's because you've done a lot of these things in past lives. You could be very successful in your career is what I'm getting, and this is what makes you quite intimidating, because people compare themselves to you is what I'm getting. Yeah, there's a lot of comparison here. People really compare themselves to you. I'm kind of getting they're intimidated, but it brings up insecurities with them. So this is like nothing to do with you. This is just This is just kind of like, yeah, you trigger a lot of people is what I'm getting. So, and there's something here too where you're very, very patient with people. I don't know, it's kind of a little bit of jealousy too coming through. I feel you're very patient, you're very strong. Why does patience make you... I think it's that whole comparison again too, where you're very patient with people, you're very humble. It's almost like this energy that people are just very triggered. People are very triggered by you because in your patience and your humbleness, this is kind of things that they feel are lacking in themselves, and then this kind of comes across in a sense that they feel, yeah, it's just a whole lot of comparison, and they feel that they're not good enough in terms of like when, yeah, it's just like they're comparing themselves to you. It's just like people feel and they're intimidated by you because I feel that you have already accomplished a lot in your life, even if you don't think so. And there's kind of this whole thing where people see, there's something around like abundance. But you actually worked really hard to get to where, like to get to this place is what I'm getting. But I kind of feel like people just look to you and then they're kind of, this is kind of turning out to be like, why are people jealous of you? Instead of why are people intimidated by you. But I think that's that whole thing where they might feel intimidated in approaching you is what I'm getting, because it seems like you kind of have some type of, there's something here that you've built in terms of your wealth, in terms of, even if you don't think so, this is in the eyes of someone, these are the eyes of people that find you intimidating. You could be some type of boss or have some type of empire. You have some type of position or something where you're regarded as someone who is very on quite a high kind of level in terms of your work. Work is very prominent here. I feel like you get a lot of recognition, and this is what makes you intimidating, and something around people think, or, you know, think, I don't know, I feel like you do actually have quite good, like your money I feel is quite good, but this is, I guess, in the eyes of someone who finds you intimidating. Because I feel like they know that you're very helpful, you're very engaging, and you have this really great personality. You're very caring of others, but you also are intimidating here with this Queen of Swords, because people find you like, they don't want to say the wrong thing. They kind of feel like they would rather admire you from afar is what I'm getting. They feel like, and there's this whole thing too about, they just feel that you will keep escalating and escalating in terms of your work. Like, you have so many goals, and it intimidates people because, again, that comparison where they feel like they haven't got very far in their life, and whereas you have climbed quite a few ladders in terms of like, this is how they view you. And yeah, it's like, let me clarify this card here. What makes you so intimidating? Yeah, actually, because maybe you do have, I also feel that you're actually quite intimidating too, because there's something here, yeah, because it has taken you a lot, because I feel like you have built something in your life in terms of some type of platform, there's some type of achievement here, and people really view you in a high regard. So you could be very well seen in your community, online, or on your social media, social media or something like this. And it's like you worked really hard to get to this place. So I feel that you also have very strong boundaries. So I feel that it is actually people find it intimidating to approach you because you've kind of worked really hard. And I feel that there's this whole thing where you're very protective over what you have built and who you let into your kind of something around your work. You don't let a lot of people in. So this could be energetic boundaries that you have. She here with this Nine of Cups, and she has like her arms crossed, and this Queen of Swords. Like you're you're actually very, looking deeper into this, you're very protective of what you have built, and you don't, and that's why you don't actually, that's why you come across intimidating, because you're like, don't like test me or try me or like F with my shit, because I worked really, really hard to get here. Like, I feel like whatever you have built, you probably had to, when you first started out, it took you, I feel like you were always really well recognized, always well liked. You always had kind of this destiny that you were meant to achieve great things in your life, but it took you a very long time to get there. And I feel like you probably had to juggle like a few jobs and walk away from a lot of things in your life that you had to cut out in order to achieve this. And that's why you have really strong boundaries in place, and people find this intimidating because they know they can't get into your energetic field because you worked so hard to get here, is what I'm getting. What makes you so intimidating? Yeah, you have this, you're very private too, and you don't let a lot of people in. And this is because you have had a lot of relationships in your life that have tested you and have left you disappointed. You prefer to, your kind of deal is like building your wealth, your stability, your kind of fame, your popularity. This is more important to you, is what I'm getting, because you worked really hard. You don't trust people, and this is why you kind of give off the vibes that, like, don't come near me, is what I'm getting. You're more about, you prefer to vibe on your own and like work. I feel like work is like your deal. Yeah, and I feel like you feel things on such a deep level, as well, and a lot of people in your life have really hurt you, and but this is what has given you strength, and this is what has actually helped you to propel you forward in terms of what you are wanting to build in your life. And even if I feel like, because we'll all be on different stages, so this could be like the journey, because you're really wanting to keep building and building on this kind of there's something here that you're trying to build, and definitely around work. And some type of creative pursuit is definitely what I see. But what makes you so intimidating is that I think it's your energy too, because there's something that because you feel a lot too, and you're kind of going through your own things and through a lot of kind of heart repair, is what I'm getting, in terms of what has happened to you in the past. People are reluctant to come towards you because they can feel this energy that you're giving off, which is pretty much leave me the F alone, is what I'm getting. And that's but people actually, they kind of sense this, so they also are intimidated by you, because they see you as very successful. They see you, they probably don't know like what you had to go through to get there, and they just kind of, seeing, how they view you, but they kind of see you as someone very successful, someone that's very more focused on their work, and there's almost like a thing of being intimidated because they feel they are not good enough, is what I'm getting. So I'm going to take this into my extended on Patreon, and I'm going to look at what makes you so intimidating. We're going to continue this in what makes you so intimidating in terms of like your sexual energy. And yeah, so if you'd like to join me over there, the link will be in the comments. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does really help my content. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I hope to see you over on Patreon, where we'll continue this reading. Hey, what's up, 𝘼𝙁, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to be asking the question, what makes you so intimidating, 𝘼𝙁? And then on my extended, I'm going to look at what makes you so intimidating in terms of your sexual energy. looking into that deeper. Yeah, so it's kind of like around like your sacred sexuality, your healing gifts in terms of your energy, and we just go a bit deeper over there. Yeah, so I'll leave that link in the description, in the comments, if you want to join me over there. You also get all my other extended readings, and there's limited tiers where you can get like a personal reading from me as well. And I have like psychic podcasts too, so there's like loads of stuff that you get immediate access to. So you come across you're intimidating because you come across very self-assured. I'm also getting a thing here too where I feel that people in relationships or people that are with other, it's like there's something about you that stands out, and I feel that people that perhaps are in relationships seem to find you interesting is what I'm getting, but I'll go deeper with that on my Patreon. You also have, I'm being told, you have very strong psychic ability and awareness, and people are very intimidated because they know that you know things, and they feel like you're looking into their soul when they're kind of with you, and they don't want you reading them. That's what I'm getting. That's funny. That could be around lovers too, but yeah, I'll look into that on my Patreon. Yeah, I'm definitely getting around lovers. There's a lot of things around lovers here. You're intimidating. You are someone who's had a lot of life. Okay, so I don't know where it stopped. I was continuing to say that a lot of lovers find you, or people that could be in relationships, find you quite intriguing, and they want to know more about you is what I'm getting. And I said I'll look into that deeper on my Patreon. And then like there was a thing here where with your psychic abilities that people found you quite intimidating because they didn't want you to know, like they don't want you to read them, was what I was getting. And they feel like your energy, they feel a bit uncertain because they feel your energy from many past lives, because they know you from other lifetimes. So you're, yeah, it's kind of turning into, I don't know where this, like, I'm just channeling, so let's just do whatever comes through. So yeah, because I feel like there's some type of like uneasiness, and that's because they're recognizing your energy from many lifetimes ago. And this does come across intimidating, because maybe that's why too, that these people that perhaps are in relationships are like, why am I really drawn to you? And that's because they have known you before, is what I'm getting. And perhaps maybe there's something where, yeah, because it's like your energy. But they feel intimidated by this because you have a very, I'm getting you're quiet. There's something about your energy that's very strong. Like, I'm getting a lot of confidence with this group, and you're not afraid. I feel like you would definitely, you tell people like how it is. Like you don't, yeah, there's something, you don't mess around. I feel like you're quiet. It's kind of like a maturity to you is what I'm getting. It's like people find you intimidating because I feel that it's kind of like you're very self-assured. You know what you're doing. You know what you want in life. And I feel that people that are not really on that same wavelength find this intimidating because you're very like, I know what I want. These are my goals. This is kind of what I need to do. And you're very focused, and this is like your energy. And people that are kind of just a bit like, meh, don't know what they're doing, they find this intimidating because they're not used to this energy is what I'm getting. You have very, very strong, you might have something about like maybe your placements and but it's like you're very self-assured. You tell people, like, tell them how it is. Strong very strong psychic awareness, and I feel like you just tell people shit, like if they, yeah, you would just tell them how it is, and this intimidates them because they don't want to hear they don't want to hear it. And I feel there's something about you being intimidating because of your sexual energy is what I'm getting. So like I said, I'll look at that on my Patreon, but yeah, there's something very mysterious about you too. Like I said, your energy is very intriguing. I feel like you've had many lifetimes here. And there's some type of recognition when you might get people that come up to you and or are looking or stare at you all the time when you go out, and you're like, what are you looking at? I do that sometimes. But they're staring at you because of your energy, and they don't know, and it's kind of like they feel like they've probably known you before, but it's kind of like I feel they would rather look at you from afar is what I'm getting more. Yeah, you have very strong boundaries and very sexual energy coming through. Very confident, very strong. So I like all these lions here. And being told you're a very old soul. But it's like you have the intensity to love really hard, and I feel people can sense this. And I feel like you have quite a good balance in terms of like feminine and masculine energy. Maybe you had to go through life a lot on your own, so you kind of had to put this into balance because you needed to the one who was like there for yourself. So you kind of come through with an independence as well, that you kind of don't really need anyone. And this is intimidating to people because they're like, what would I even offer this person? Because they seem to have everything kind of like all together. So you perhaps had to, yeah, so like you had to do things for yourself is what I'm getting. And there's a lot of courage here. Like you're very courageous. You're very, like, you've been through a lot. You have a lot of scars, and I feel that this is what makes you intimidating, because it's just like, I feel like people just can't offer you anything. Like it would take a really certain person to be like, what can you offer me? And again, like intimidated because you're an old soul, and just the psychic abilities are something very heightened awareness about you, and people sense this. Like I said, I feel like I said that it's like you're reading their soul or something, so they couldn't lie to you. But again, I'm feeling like it seems intimidating for some people that are interested in you, not only like romantically, I feel just in general, because they kind of look up to you and see that you're really determined, you're kind of doing your own thing, and it's like, it's something like they can't, yeah, I don't know if I see that, they can't like lie to you. So they find like, so it kind of like, that's good because it gets rid of like the people that you don't need. Yeah, I kind of feel like people find you intimidating because they're like, this person has it all together. And remember, this is other people's. Like, you might not feel this way, but this is what people think of you. It's like the other group. It's a lot of emphasis here where, and again, like I feel like you're very career, like something around career focused. You've gone through things, but you've always come out on top. People might feel inferior to you as well. There's something here where, because you're so focused, so determined, there's a lot of goals, passion here. Like you're very, like, this is what I want to do. And people find this intimidating because it's like, they don't really see where they would fit into your world. And it's like, how do I approach this person? Because your energy's like, I'm not really into this, I'm more focused on what I'm doing, is what I'm getting. I'm like, so they're just like, how would this person even, like, how would I even talk to them? Or how, if I was interested, how would I even approach them? Because they're so like, they're so focused on building something for themselves. And again, I don't have much to offer this person because it seems like they have everything, is what I'm getting. Yeah, again, like, there's a lot of people find you very confident, very self-assured. You might be quite popular as well. And there's a lot of like sexual energy coming through. And people think they're not, like, there's this whole thing where they think they're not good enough for you because they feel like you could just have anyone that you want. But I just feel there's something very, I feel this is in your, because you're an old soul, there's something very, on a very psychic level and a very intuitive level, that your energy is just very, very different to a lot of people. There could be something quite omnious, is that the word? Like dark and mysterious too coming through about you. You could be very much into the occult too. Yeah, you are. And this is why people find you intimidating. Yes, because of your craft again. They're scared you're going to know things. They know you can look into their soul. Yeah, this is where it's going now. They know that you can look into their life, and they feel very intimidated by this, so would rather not be around. Yeah, and you dream like you're psychic like AF. Very independent, very strong, but yeah, that's why they're intimidated by you. So I'm very intrigued too. Yeah, it's because of your psychic and your craft. You're into the occult, you're into magic, you're very much a manifester. People know this. They see that you're very focused on creating. You've already created a lot for yourself through your magic, through your energy. You're very much focused on your independence, and so your financial like status is what I'm getting. But I'm really intrigued because there's a lot of like this energy coming through in terms of your sexuality. So I'm going to take this over on Patreon, and we're going to go a bit deeper into this reading. So if you would like to join me, just click on the link and you'll get access to that. And yeah, thank you so much for letting me read your awesome energy. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my content. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you over on Patreon. Hey, what's up, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to be asking the question today: what makes you so intimidating? And then on my Patreon, we're going to go deeper into what makes you so intimidating in terms of your sexual power and your sexual energy. And that's where on my tier, I go into sacred sexuality, and this is all to do with your creativity, your power, how you're manifesting. It's you know, your sexuality and it's like your life force. So we go a lot deeper over there, and yeah, so that's going to be on my extended, and I'll leave that in the comments, and you'll get access to all my extended readings. And there's limited tiers also if you do want to have a personal reading with me as well. So that's kind of like, you kind of get everything, so it's pretty good value. Okay, so pile 3. Pile 3, what makes you so intimidating? I'm hearing something about your looks. Something about the way that you look. Hearing you're very aesthetically beautiful. But it's almost like I'm feeling you also have this amazing open heart is what I'm getting. And people are intimidated, I'm getting, because of the power and the intensity of your love. I feel that people are intimidated because of the power of your love and the intensity. You have such a huge heart, and I feel that perhaps in your life a lot of people were not ready for this type of love because it intimidated them and it scared them, because they weren't ready. They weren't ready to, I feel like they weren't ready to face a lot of their shadow self, which is like nothing to do with you. It's more that you bring, I'm hearing the power of this love like scares the F out of them. What makes you so intimidating? But it's kind of like I'm just getting this whole thing. Then they like reminisce about you. Of course, is that on the screen? Yeah. Oh, people. I just find it like interesting how this always happens. They'll be intimidated, you'll trigger people, then they leave, then they just like reminisce about you. But there's something here too that I feel people are intimidated by you. Something about like your work ethic is coming through. And something around financial status is coming through. They find this intimidating. And I'm almost hearing like they think, this isn't true, but this is just what they think. Because there's something around like your status and how they, this is what they think, like, it could be true or not in terms of your financial status. But maybe, like, again, like you probably look really good, you dress really well, you look like, depending if you have money or not, I feel like you do, or you kind of like nice things is what I'm getting in terms of like, yeah, this is all around lovers, which is funny that it came through like this. So the extended will be interesting. There's this whole thing too around your financial status, and it intimidates a lot, but especially more lovers is what I'm getting. I'm feeling the people that are more intimidated by you are the people that are interested in you or have been in relationships with you, which is interesting. We have the lovers here too. Because they're intimidated because maybe they feel that they're not good enough, or whatever in their like eyes, and then they see you, I feel like they see you doing well, or they see you've moved on, and they see you moved on, and then they're just like, yeah, it's like a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy coming through from these past like lovers. And that's because they see kind of like you're looking really good. You look like you have a lot of, maybe you were with them before, but now it's like you're taking care of yourself. You're probably doing better without them. There's something here too. People are intimidated by you because, yeah, this whole thing around your beauty. So it could be just with any, not everyone is going to be intimidated by you, but these are like points that are coming up. It's something around you being very beautiful and you looking like you have a lot of cash. I find that funny. So I just feel like you're really put together, like I was saying, and you're very much in this self-love energy. So it does trigger people that fear. It just kind of, brings up insecurities within people where they feel that they haven't they don't look as good as you, or maybe they feel too like you have a lot of options, or you have a lot of lovers too. I feel like there's like a lot of intimidation and a lot of, there is people that admire you too, but there's like a lot of intimidation in terms of this, like this, some type of status you have, or some type of like monetary thing, value or something that they feel that they are lacking, and this is what comes across very intimidating. But I feel there's like a lot of like jealousy is what I'm getting. It makes you so intimidating. Yeah, it's like they look at you and they see how beautiful you are and how like the Fool. And what makes you so intimidating too is I feel that you're a person that has taken, you as someone who will try new things and take risks and have adventures. And maybe there's this thing where why do they find this intimidating? Because it's something like it triggers something in them where they want to be like you, and it's just being around you is like, I wish I could try all these things or do all these things. Maybe they feel like you have a lot of freedom and they don't, and it just feels more, it's more like this trigger. I'm just getting like this trigger they feel within their like heart where they want to be like you. They want to have the ability to not be afraid to try things, and they feel like you're more adventurous, your life looks really fun, that you're doing a lot of things. And sorry, I always find these things really funny. I find it really interesting too. It's like kind of like, it's like I'm a reader, but it's also because you can read into the minds. It's just like the psyche. And I find it funny because I did want to be a psychologist, but I'm a psychic reader. So I find it very interesting, the psychological aspects of this and reading the energy. Okay, what else have we got here? What makes you intimidating? Spirit. What makes you intimidating? Yeah, I'm getting terror around your heart. There's something about the way you have such compassion, and there's just, I find that interesting, right? Because you would feel that because you have such an open heart and you're really loving, and but this is actually intimidating because not many people, I mean, not going to say not many people, but in my life of who I've met, not many people are able to have an open heart with kind of like this. It does really intimidate people is what I'm getting. And it's like people, this intimidates them because like I said before, I think about them having to really look at themselves, because to have an open heart is right, to be accepting of yourself as you are and accepting of others. So there's so many other trigger points and how we have, accepting of ourselves, because no one is perfect, and it's about accepting the shadow side and the light, like when, we're both dark and light, and we're always continuously healing and working on ourselves. But there's something, because you have this healing quality to you, that you kind of have this thing too where people feel very vulnerable with you, and because you see them and you see everything about them. And this can be intimidating because people like to hide certain parts of themselves, especially if they're not comfortable with it or they haven't accepted this. But it's like you would accept this person or these people for whatever they, however they are, whatever they are, but you don't have, I feel like you're not really one to judge, and this kind of freaks them out because they haven't felt this compassion or this this is like unconditional love. So even if it's just whoever, it doesn't always have to be lovers, but lovers is very prominent in your reading here. So it's kind of this thing where you would have such an open heart that it would really freak people out, because, and the whole thing where they feel, because you see people for as they truly are, and this is like, that can be like they feel very naked and very vulnerable, and they're like, I'm not ready for this. It's very intimidating. So having a massive heart and having that ability to have huge compassion is powerful AF. So don't underestimate the fact, you know, people think, oh, you know, you're kind-hearted and you're compassionate, and but they don't realize to be in this energy and to have this ability takes strength, takes courage, and it's very powerful. And I feel that people kind of go, oh, you know, might meet you and go, she's really sweet, and then they realize, yeah, I'm sweet, but like I'm so much more, because like feel this intense as powerful love, and people are just not ready for that yet, and it freaks them out, and then they'll probably bolt because they have not felt this intensity, and this, it's just powerful. I wish I knew. I'm like, I need to look at another word that means powerful, but it's incredible, transformational, because I don't know if it's like cliche, but it is the whole thing too, because to love in the parts that are, that's the part of accepting the shadow and accepting all the parts of us. But we, in order to do that, in order to accept it in others, you need to be able to look at yourself and accept that within yourself. And if people are not ready to do that, they're just going to run away because it's intimidating. Great. I'm going to take this and look at your sexual energy now, because I find it very interesting. We have the lovers here, and then I'm going to take this onto my Patreon, and we're going to go deeper into this and look at how you're intimidating in terms of, like, we've kind of actually touched on this, but this will go deep in terms of like when you're intimate with partners and this thing where, why are they intimidated by you? And I'm very intrigued. So that will be in the comments below. So if you'd like to join me, you'll get access to all my other extended readings as well. And yeah, and if, yeah, there's like tiers too, I think I mentioned, if you do want to get a personal reading from me. So thank you so much for letting me read for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.